Horror Nights construction in Hollywood is going strong, and Orlando is now 6 announcements deep. So when can we expect an announcement in Hollywood? Stay tuned to find out. Hello and welcome back to the Hauntline. I'm your host, Jonathan. Today we are talking Halloween Horror Nights, but we also cover all SoCal haunts here on this channel. So if you haven't already, be sure and subscribe and follow us on our socials to stay up to date with all the latest haunt news. Let's take a look at all the HHN construction happening at Universal Studios Hollywood right now, starting with the Parisian Courtyard, where thanks to our buddy Nico of the Entertainment Connection, we can see that a tent is up, we can see that house walls have gone up, but no facade just yet. By this time last year, the facade for Monstros was already taking shape, so I can imagine we may see a facade popping up soon. But I'm also theorizing that this spot may be a recognizable IP, which is why they're waiting to build it. The latest speculation map is hinting that this may be another original Latin American Legends house, but there's truly no way of knowing just yet. Moving on to the H lot, we can see 2 huge facades taking shape, but only one with details so far. Thanks again to Nico, we can now see Gothic-style windows have been installed on the second story, and the start of what might be a large stained glass window is taking shape in the center. The speculation for this spot in particular has been all over the place. Early speculation said this might be a Nightmare on Elm Street, then it changed to Insidious, but now it's looking more related to Universal Monsters. The latest speculation map does hint at a bride-centered house coming this season, or maybe we could see the return of Silver Scream Queens, the scare zone from 2021. The second H-lot house is also taking shape, but it's really hard to guess what it could be so far. This spot was home to Chucky Ultimate Kill Count last season, and it's currently speculated to be home to the Universal Monsters. So only time will tell what it can be. And finally, the lower lot is getting tons of action, starting with this house behind the Revenge of the Mummy. This facade has really started taking shape in the past couple of days, and as you can see from this picture from Nico, this facade is starting to resemble the Quonset hut pictured on the latest speculation map. These kinds of huts are used a lot in military settings, so it makes sense that a portion of the wall seems to have taken some explosive damage. I think it's safe to say this house will have some sort of post-apocalyptic or military theme, but the question still remains if it will be an original concept or another adopted Orlando concept, or maybe even another IP. The last facade we're going to cover is this one in the T-pad, which is looking more and more like the base of an Art Deco skyscraper. Last season, this was home to Holidays in Hell, but this year, I have no idea what this could be. Early speculation was hinting at this being themed to Larry Larva and the Exterminators, which were introduced to us last year on the Terror Tram, and honestly, I would have loved to see it. But could this facade be related to the Ghostbusters? This is an IP that has been speculated from the start of this year, and now we know that they will play a big part of Universal Orlando's summer season. So I think it's safe to say that chances are high we'll see them as part of the Horror Nights lineup this year. And well, that's going to be it for all the in-park construction that we can see, because currently Hollywood has access to 3 Soundstage locations, namely Soundstage 15, Soundstage 22, and the UBE venue. So now it's time to address the elephant in the room. Horror Nights Orlando is 6 house announcements deep, but Hollywood has had absolutely none. So what the hell is happening? Well, for starters, although it doesn't feel like it, we're actually pretty on track with Horror Nights' usual announcement schedule. This time last year, we knew that we were getting Chucky as an IP because they announced it on closing night of 2022, but our first big announcement wasn't until The Last of Us on June 15th. We got our first announcement of the 2022 season in May with Legends Collide, and then we got Halloween on June 8th, followed by The Horrors of Blumhouse on June 23rd. With this in mind, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to get our first big bi-coastal announcement sometime before or by mid-June. Thanks to the teaser we got on the 14th of May, it's very evident that Horror Nights is building toward a big announcement campaign like the ones we've seen in the past couple of years. It's also interesting to note that with their 6 original houses already announced, Orlando will only have 4 houses based on IPs, so we can be pretty sure that those 4 will be shared between both coasts. With that in mind, I think it's also safe to say that Hollywood might get a couple of IPs that are unique to our coast, or it could also mean that we're getting 4 original houses, maybe even based on some Orlando originals or concepts completely original to Hollywood. One of the things I love most about Orlando is that there's usually a pretty even split between IPs and originals, and oftentimes their originals outshine their IPs thanks to the amazing creativity of the Orlando team. Either way, I'm super excited to learn more about the lineup in Hollywood and to finally find out what the hell those facades are, because some of them have had me confused from the very start. And well, that's going to do it for this HHN update. Please be sure and follow Nico at The Entertainment Connection, but also at The Horror Connection for all the HHN updates. He does amazing work and he gets great shots of the facades. I know that I haven't been posting as many YouTube videos as I have in the past, but what I have been doing a lot of are live streams. And those are a ton of fun because I really enjoy being able to interact with y'all and talk haunts together. So be sure and follow us on our socials so you can see when our next live stream will be, because they do happen kind of spontaneously as news comes in. You can visit us on the web for links to all of our stuff. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And until the next time, thank you for calling the Hotline.